The leak hits like a siren before the first question. Internal debate memos from the president's prep team show a directive to front-load crime and border, bury questions on legal exposure, and mark Jasmine Crockett as high risk, neutralize early. Producers freeze, the audience gasps, and every phone in the hall lights up at once. Crockett lifts a thin folder as if it were a warrant and steps straight through the shock. Mr. President, did your staff lobby for tonight's topic order, yes or no? The line cuts clean through the noise. He grins, calls it ridiculous, blames the media, boasts about prosperity. Crockett doesn't blink. She reads a highlighted line word for word. Avoid Jasmine at all costs on legal liability. The gas becomes a wave. The moderators fumble their cards as the camera finds Trump's eyes, and then snaps back to Crockett's folder. Steady as a metronome, she pivots to money. While you told donors every dollar was for election protection, your leadership committee paid 7 figures in legal fees the same week. Dates, signatures, amounts, she ticks them like charges. He calls it a smear. She answers with filings. These aren't my opinions, Mr. President. They are your records. A chant catches in the rafters, first scattered, then rolling. Jasmine, Jasmine. Until the floor crew signals to ride the audio down and the microphones still capture the rhythm anyway. He lunges for safer ground. Border imagery, sirens, slogans sharpened to a headline. Crockett flips the map on the jumbo screen. Unfinished contracts, overpriced panels, gaps measured in miles. Not my slide, your procurement notes. Laughter breaks, then applause, then the restless churn of a crowd that has decided to listen to numbers instead of volume. He calls it doctored. She taps the audit trail, adds a page with the presidential announcement bearing his signature, and lets the silence do the rest. Election integrity, he declares, reaching for the old engine. Courts, she replies. Under oath, your lawyers couldn't provide the evidence you promise in rallies. She names districts, docket numbers, dismissals. He alleges bias. She gives dates. He raises his voice, she lowers hers, and the room leans in as if gravity has shifted toward her podium. A protester shouts from the balcony. Applause drowns it in seconds. The lower third graphic mutates in real time. Crockett presses president on leaked prep, then updates again as she turns a final page. If you lose clean, will you say it plainly tonight? The question hangs like a held breath over living rooms and airport bars across America. He pivots to grievances, to enemies, to unfairness. Crockett steps forward, voice even, words built of steel and receipts. Leadership is accepting reality when it hurts. Patriotism is telling the truth when a lie would pay better. The audience answers with a thunderclap of applause, flashes crackling like a storm over water. She thanks the moderators without looking away from him and sets the folder down with a quiet thud that plays like a gavel. On the crawl beneath the debate feed, a new headline locks into place. Crockett seizes control as leak explodes. The first exchange closes with the stage tilted unmistakably in her direction. Facts stacked, crowd captured, momentum hers to spend. The moderators attempt to reset the tone by shifting to foreign policy, but Crockett doesn't wait. She leans into the microphone, voice sharp as a blade. Mr. President, just 3 weeks ago, your administration greenlit a $600 million contract in Eastern Europe, while veterans here at home were told their benefits would be cut. How do you explain funding private armies abroad while our own service members struggle to pay medical bills? The audience gasps, reporters hammer keyboards and camera lights strobe. Trump launches into bravado, insisting America is stronger than ever, that he has rebuilt the military, that no one respects veterans more than him. Crockett slices the claim to ribbons. Your respect is written in budget cuts and closed clinics. Families are burying heroes who came home only to find they couldn't afford care. The roar from the crowd drowns his response, half the room on its feet chanting her name, the other half shouting back, chaos boiling over. The president pounds his podium, raising his voice, accusing Crockett of being unpatriotic, radical, dangerous. She doesn't flinch. Dangerous is hiding contracts with foreign interests behind classified stamps. Dangerous is lying to the American people while feeding your friends in the defense industry. I stand for the truth, Mr. President, and tonight the truth is dismantling your talking points. The moderators wave for order, but the scene spirals. Protesters escorted out, chants ricocheting through the hall. Crockett commands the storm, lifting another document stamped with the presidential seal. This is your own Department of Homeland Security report. It shows border crossings have risen to historic levels, yet you stand here bragging about walls while families see only rusted steel and broken promises. Laughter erupts, applause swells, and Trump's rebuttal collapses under the noise. He lashes back with slogans, "Make America Great, America First, the greatest economy." She fires back with statistics: foreclosures up, debt soaring, inflation biting into every paycheck since spring. You call this greatness? I call it theft. American families lose homes while you throw fundraisers at Mar-a-Lago. A reporter in the press box shouts, "Fact check, confirmed," and the audience roars louder still. The clash peaks when Crockett leans in, eyes locked on him. If you believe in America, why are you selling it piece by piece to contractors and cronies? Why are you hiding the evidence your own agencies can't bury anymore? Trump falters, waving his hands, searching for a slogan that won't come. His silence becomes the loudest sound of the night. The moderators announce the segment close, but the verdict has already landed. The ticker on the broadcast hammers the point. Crockett hammers president on foreign deals and broken promises. The crowd, the cameras, the headlines, all aligned on one truth: Jasmine Crockett is in command and the president is reeling. The final segment explodes with the question every viewer waited for: accountability. The moderator asks if the president will release unredacted visitor logs from the White House in Mar-a-Lago to prove who has been influencing policy. Trump stiffens, insisting disclosure would endanger national security. Crockett drives in with precision. Security isn't endangered by sunlight. Corruption is. And corruption thrives where you hide your meetings with lobbyists and foreign agents. Release the logs or admit you're auctioning access to the Oval Office. The crowd gasps, phones rise, flashes erupt. Trump roars that he's the most transparent president in history. No one more honest, no one more open. Crockett cuts him down without hesitation. If you're transparent, why did your administration alter visitor records? Why did whistleblowers hand Congress proof that meetings were erased? Why do Americans learn more from leaks than from their own commander-in-chief? The crowd surges, chants of "Jasmine, Jasmine," pounding through the arena like drums. He tries to drown it with volume, shouting about loyalty, patriotism, greatness. Crockett unveils her kill shot. She lifts a letter stamped with the Department of Justice seal. This confirms your senior advisor is under federal investigation for selling influence to foreign contractors while you signed the approvals. Tonight you wanted to project strength. Instead, you've been stripped bare on live television. The arena detonates, applause, shouting, chaos spilling over. Trump's voice is lost in the roar, his gestures frantic, his face crimson under the lights. The moderators pound their table, but Crockett commands silence with a raised hand. America deserves truth. Tonight I have shown the truth, that behind every slogan is a scandal, behind every promise is a lie, and behind every show of strength is a man afraid of accountability. Trump shakes his head, muttering inaudibly, while the cameras catch Crockett's calm defiance. She steps forward, voice resonant, words burning through the chaos. Power belongs to the people, not to a president hiding behind stage lines and secret meetings. Tonight, America saw through the facade. The question now is not whether the truth can win, it's whether the people will fight for it. The audience explodes into a standing ovation, chants shaking the rafters. The broadcast ticker blares. Crockett obliterates president in final round. The moderator attempts a closing thank you, but Crockett seizes the last word, her voice steady and unyielding. If you're tired of lies, if you're ready for leaders who fight for you and not themselves, subscribe, comment, and share this message. Because truth only wins when we make it louder than their corruption. The cameras lock on Crockett's raised fist, the hall roaring like thunder, and millions watching at home know one thing with absolute clarity. Jasmine Crockett has crushed Donald Trump, and history just witnessed the meltdown of his presidency.